Hello and welcome to another episode of the Language Hacking Podcast. I'm your host, Benny Lewis, and today I'm doing a standalone Ask Benny style episode. And I wanted to talk a bit about language islands. This is something that we come back to quite often with people in our Fluent in 3 Months challenge, and it can be very, very useful. And the analogy is that we imagine that you're lost at sea and you've just started your new language, so you don't have anything to grab onto. And so the best thing, rather than trying to find an entire continent, which would be you speaking the language fluently, let's make a little language island that you can feel comfortable on and confident on. And we'll keep building these language islands until eventually there's no water for us to drown in. So the language island represents one specific topic that you're going to be very comfortable to be talking about. The initial language islands I always try to work on are things that I would talk about relevant to my situation. So that might be about my travels, it might be about my work, it may be about my studies that were in electronic engineering, it may be about my passions and my hobbies. But each time I consider that one language island that I'm going to build up. So let's say, as an example, I'm into technology. I like to see the latest trends. I like to follow YouTube channels based on that technology. I do try to do these in my target languages. And I want to make sure I'm building up vocabulary and phrases that are relevant to those topics. So as I'm watching a YouTube video and I notice a new word that is important for this theme, I will make a note of that. I'll add it to maybe even its own separate tab in my Google Sheets for that language theme. So it might be related to computer terminology. It might be about the latest gadgets coming out. So whatever it might be, I decide this is my technology language island. And I add more as I get more exposure. I add phrases, I add expressions, I add the individual vocabulary. And what that means is eventually I will be able to consume content related to this language island, this one theme that I'm really focusing in on. And then I'll also be able to talk about that. And this is how we build towards fluency. It can feel like such a huge mountain that you have to climb, because there's words about every subject possible that you could imagine that you could talk about. But rather than get overwhelmed with that, I try to pick these very narrow, specific things that I can potentially learn, and that feels like a finite amount of vocabulary. It's less intimidating because there might only be a couple of hundred words that I would need to be able to follow this one theme to my best abilities within certain limitations. So I highly recommend you think about that. Rather than trying to be fluent in every possible concept, try to be very confident about one specific thing. You're into chess, learn the name of all the chess pieces, learn the name of openers and all sorts of other aspects of the game, what the board is, what a professional player, all these things. Learn that vocabulary around that one language island, and you will be able to talk about that one topic so much more confidently. And within that, you're getting exposed to vocabulary that is by its very nature going to overlap with other language islands. And this, in a way, builds a bridge between these language islands. And that's how they expand, and this water that you could drown in, that is essentially your inability to communicate, starts to disappear. And with time, these bridges connect more and more and more, and you can talk about more and more subjects. And this is how a lot of us who eventually get fluent can do this in a more segmented way. It feels so intimidating looking at fluency from an absolute beginner's perspective, but really it is a collection of small steps forward. And I like language islands because they give you something achievable, something you can feel proud of, that there's this one topic you're able to talk about it. It may be something that you have to talk about for work or studies, or something that's relevant to your life. Like I said, there's many different ways you can look at these language islands. I'm sure as you're listening to me, you're already thinking, of specific language islands you could hone in on. And maybe you would have a Wikipedia article you could look up in English about that topic or about specific aspects of that topic, and you will see in many situations there are translations of that Wikipedia article, and you can open that up and compare the two. They don't tend to be the exact same, but you'll get exposed to this new vocabulary. You can start to add that to your personal data bank, and that is going to allow your language island to expand to be from that tiny little piece of sand with one single palm tree that we imagine people get stranded on, to expand into like a whole, its own giant country, as it were, in this analogy. And then these countries start to connect, and soon, before you know it, you're able to have conversations about many different things that aren't even included in your specific language islands. So I hope that concept and analogy makes sense, and it's why it's something we do recommend people who are in the Fluent in 3 Months challenge, that they try to imagine language islands and try to become semi-experts, if they can, in particular segments of vocabulary that will help them talk about this one thing really well. So I hope you found that useful. And of course, you can go to languagehacking.com/challenge to see the challenge for yourself. That we give people a lot of advice like this, and we help them as they make progress in their languages. And of course, you've heard of lots of people that we have on the podcast who do the challenge and share their success stories. And of course, I do these podcasts based on questions you guys send in. So do look me up on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. I'm usually Irish Polyglot, but I got plenty of other handles as well. And I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that's been helpful. And until the next time, I'll wish you a very happy language learning.